Hello and welcome. This video is brought to you by thestreamingadvisor.com. Tailor your entertainment with streaming. What we're looking at in this video is Sling TV. This is part of our review of all major streaming services for 2021. And what you're actually looking at with Sling TV here is its newest version. This is a version of Sling TV that is rolling out across all major platforms. It's on Apple TV, it's on a number of Roku systems, and in this case, we are actually on the Fire TV. This is the Fire TV LTE, like I said, in the Sling TV app. If you have a Fire TV and want to make sure you've got this version, what you're going to want to do is make sure that your whole system is fully updated. But you see, this is a very different look for Sling TV if you have seen the old one. But what we're going to talk about is what you see in this, starting from the top, where you have these things they call trending programming. I don't know what exactly makes something trending, so we'll just have to accept it for what it is. Next, you've got a recommended for you group of shows, and these are going to be shows that are on at the moment that are recommended from favorites. So things that you might have favorited, things that you might have had on a watch list, things that are related to your favorites, things like that. My channels are actually your favorites. There's a way to make channels favorites, and so this guy lists it as my channels. Your categories here are a little different than what you're used to. When you click on kids, you just get a row of channels that are geared towards kids. You'll see Nick Jr. and Disney and things like that. But as you scroll through the rest of the screen, you'll see it actually just kind of jumps into other stuff. Bargain Block and Tusk are certainly not kids' shows. Hitting the back button will bring you right back up to the top of the screen where you can keep exploring the menu. Movies, it's the same as the kids section. The very top row has movies that are from various sources, but the rest of the screen is still the rest of the menu overall. So again, if you just want to kind of get a quick look at some of the things that are on and available right as you are watching TV, this is a good place to go. But it's more of a starting point than it is like an access to an on-demand library. This service has a lot of on-demand library stuff, but it's accessible in a different place. Now you'll notice it says locals-locast. Locast is actually an app that's meant to stream local TV channels. These are going to be over-the-air channels in your area, but it does it through the internet. It's a separate app and actually a separate profile that you've got to fill out. You've got to go to the Locast website, set up an account. But once you do, on some systems, you can access those channels through Sling TV. You'll find this on Android TVs, on iOS devices like an iPad, in this case the Fire TV, which of course is kind of built on the backbone of Android. Here in my recent recordings, this is access to your DVR. It's exactly what it says, things you've recorded recently. While continue watching will bring you to things that you have started watching and not finished. If it's something that's unavailable after the fact, you might not be able to get to it. You can build your own watch list by going through different movie and TV options and adding things to the watch list, but it gives you a row from right there. And a summer blockbuster list of movies that, some of them were summer blockbusters. R.I.P.D. was not exactly a blow it out of the park hit, but that's just consider that, something to check out now and then. Now the guide looks like a traditional TV guide that you ought to be used to with cable or even digital over-the-air televisions. It's just a nice little guide. You'll see that it goes in alphabetical order, except for anything that is listed as a favorite. So from the top, you might have a little bit of a mishmash depending on what you have decided to assign. But in general, once you get into the guide, you'll find that it goes in alphabetical order. You can jump forward a couple of days in advance to see what's coming on and when. And what you see is when you're going into digital channels, not the low-cast channels, but actual channels that are part of the kind of cable package, you have a chance to set up recording. It sort of prompts you, see. In this case, it's telling you to press the little button with the 3 lines, so kind of what we think of like a settings button. But that allows you to select something for recording. But if you're used to the old Sling TV and wonder whatever happened to the guide section called the channel guide versus the grid guide, you can still access channels in that way. This is where all of its on-demand content is. What you do is you see highlight the channel, and it jumps into a separate menu designed straight up for on-demand programming, and it even breaks everything down into whatever categories the channels themselves break down into. So from here you can go into series, you can find out when it's coming on, you can add them to watch lists so that you can come back to them later, and it's all right there. So what you get in this sort of setup is like almost like 2 apps in one. You get live TV apps and you get their on-demand services all built in. But now you don't have to do as much switching around. If you've never seen Sling TV before, well then this is just all new to you. But that sort of fills in the blanks for people who might have been used to a different kind of format. This is a good system because it makes perfect sense once you're in it. Once you click on a channel like Showtime or Stars, being able to figure out, where are the sports, where are the action movies. They're all right there in their own little menu. In general, the setup is simple to follow. They replaced the drop-down menus with this menu across the top. You'll see how that works as we go along. But all of their channels are in alphabetical order, as we said. But if you want to do something like put something into your favorites, it's very easy. You go to the end here, where the heart is, and you just press OK. And now that is in our favorites channels. You'll see that later on. Go into favorites, and then we'll scroll down. And there it is. Discovery is now one of the favorites. And you see, again, sort of in alphabetical order. I don't know why they don't completely alphabetize things in favorites, but for some reason it doesn't. As you watch things, it recognizes what you have been watching. So as you open different channels, your recents will be right there. Now, these categories here replace what was a little harder to find in the old Sling TV menu. There was a little sort of a settings app, a settings tab that brought up a drop-down menu, and they've kind of made it more straightforward. So as you click through any of these categories, you go click sports, it pulls up sports channels, news pulls up news channels, movies pulls up movies channels. It's not going to pull up an on-demand menu unless, of course, you click on a channel the way that we showed you. And you'll notice a section called free. Now, once you've paid for Sling TV, the free is, not exactly free because you've bought it already. But something about Sling TV that a lot of people don't know is you can actually set up an account without having one of these cable replacement services and just use Sling TV, kind of like Pluto TV or anything else like that. They're all ad-supported programming, and they have lots of different choices and categories of things to look for. So whether it's kids shows or live streaming news, you can actually find that in the free section for Sling TV. From there, you can choose to record or watch. I like that there's a whole lot of different sorts of options there. Not every single free option has as many movies as another, but it's just all about having choice. Sling TV also has support for DVR. DVR is a very important thing to a lot of people who want to have a TV service because you can schedule what you want to watch, record it, and then access it from here. So on your scheduled menu, you can look at what it is that is scheduled. So it looks like it's going to record a lot of episodes of Wipeout. If you decide maybe I don't need any more Wipeout, you can cancel it. But you can also set up recording options. And what that's going to do is give you an idea of, whether you're recording everything from a series or just the new stuff. You can even set it up just to record a given episode. Usually you don't want to do that, but often if you're trying to build a library to come back to later, it's helpful to record only the new stuff. Otherwise you get a lot of repeats. But in general, it's a pretty easy DVR to use. If you find that you've taken up too much room with something, you can actually delete an entire series with just one quick click. This lock option, I haven't figured out exactly what it's supposed to do. I think it's there to make sure that you don't delete something, but I'm still able to delete things in it, so I can't tell you exactly what that does, and I'm sorry about that. I hope it doesn't make you think less of me. But in general, it's a pretty simple and intuitive setup. You'll notice that it has 100 hours of DVR. If you need to clear space up, I think the easiest thing to do is just knock out a bunch of things at once. And for instance, I love the show Hometown, but I've got Discovery Plus, so I've got all of those shows anyway. We can just delete it all, and boom, now we've got, almost 30 more hours of storage available. Besides the DVR, there is an on-demand section for Sling TV. The on-demand section is broken down by movies, TV shows, and kids. This is a little more extensive than what you found in that section on the home menu, but it doesn't allow you to go through and see as many things as you might want. My watch list is probably the most helpful thing in there because that is stuff that you've selected. But when you notice, you go into movies, there isn't like a section like sci-fi at the top. Sci-fi, romance, adventure, whatever. What they've done is create these little rows, kind of like a streaming app, like something like Crackle or Netflix or something like that. Comedy movies, drama movies, and so on. So I don't think that that's as easy to browse as it could be. TV shows is much the same way. Some of the categories you might notice are kind of fun, like Stuff Your Face. But in general, it's a very standard sort of system. If you can't figure out what's on any of your channels and you're looking for something real specific, you can still use a good old search. I'm going to jump in and look for Batman, what kind of Batman stuff is on there. And it looks like, and they must have the original series available somewhere, or at least the 1966 series. Yep, that's what that is. So that's on, Heroes and Headliners, I think is the name of that channel, H&H. That's one of the digital channels. Where's Batman Unlimited? Alright. So Batman Unlimited, they have a season available. Batman vs. Superman is on TNT. You can add that to your watch list so you can get back to it later. But of course, you're not limited to just Batman. That's just kind of a generic thing that I like to search for in videos because everybody knows who Batman is. But that's it. That's the new Sling TV app. That's what it looks like here in 2021. How much does Sling TV cost? It all depends on what you want. Their basic packages start at $35. There's actually 2 basic packages. And then you go from there. If you want more sports, it's like an extra $10, so $45 for like 55 channels. And so on and so forth. They have premium packages with things like Showtime and Stars, and it's all up to you. If you're satisfied with just the basic stuff that it gives you, which is a pretty solid group of, say, like 35, 36 channels, like the History Channel, has ESPN and ESPN2, CNN, some things like that. A lot of general entertainment. You might even be happy with just that. But it can get as expensive as, $90-something if you keep adding and adding and adding. At that point, you are paying about as much as you might with at least an intro cable package. But it's up to you. You can explore their website and see what you like and what you don't. I hope you found that helpful, and if you did, please subscribe to our channel. Share this with your friends. As always, I'm Ryan Downey, the Streaming Advisor. Stream on, my friends.